What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another week of Clickbait. Like always, we're going to give you the Bachelor Nation breakdown. We got some juicy headlines for you, even though I hate using the word juicy. We also have a couple guys coming on from Michelle's season. Rick and Ryan are going to be joining us, and the Clickbait of the week, which we always let Natasha get deep with it. So let's get into it, shall we?
That sounded weird to me.
Rick and Ryan makes me think of
Deep
Rick
with
and
it?
Morty. Rick and
Deep
Morty.
with it.
Deep with it, Rick and Morty. Okay, this is perfect. Exactly how I want to start the podcast out. So the first Bachelor Nation breakdown is Wells Adams and fiance Sarah Hyland celebrate 4 years together. All right. Well,
They're cute.
I love that. Love Wells. Love Sarah.
Have you met
How do we
Sarah?
feel? Yeah, I have.
Oh, I've
I
never
met her
met
a
her.
few times.
I've met her once, and she's so sweet, and they are so funny. Like, I met her at this premiere that Wells was like on stage or something, and she was like yelling, like it was so cute. They are. I mean, I look at couples like them. I'm like, meant to be. Like,
Yeah.
she gets it. He gets her. They kind of just mesh together so well, and they've been, as we know, and we've talked about this in Wells, we talked about this a lot in Paradise, how he's put off his wedding. They put off their wedding because of COVID and all these different things. So I liked her post when she said one day we'll get married.
And I think he was the first Bachelor contestant ever to date a
Like
I
a
would
famous
say,
person.
a celebrity. Like that's an
Yeah.
actual,
Oh,
that's
really?
a proper celebrity. I would say we fall into the unproper.
We're
category.
recognizable. I don't know about celebrities.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's unproper, recognizable people that have been seen on TV.
Z-list.
Z-list, sure. Call us what you want, but we're here. We're coming at you. Actually, Tia, I mean, I know you don't want to get too much into it, but you are now in a public relationship.
I
correct?
Oh,
am. It's scary. It's terrifying.
I will say that I saw your post, and then I of course went to his page and saw his post, and his why that was really really funny. It was
He's an
really
angel.
cute.
He really is really sweet. And he's been doing sweet stuff for me for months. It's just scary being public in the public eye. Everybody like pays attention to every little detail.
How
Yeah.
long have you guys been? When did you guys meet? How long ago?
So we met actually in January at a party
Oh,
in
nice.
Nashville. He moved from California.
Oh,
And we hung out like in the same friend group. And then he got the balls one day to try to hit on me and get me to hang out with him. And I was like, sweetie, I'm going on Bachelor in Paradise.
Okay.
I'll see you later. And then after I got home, I was like, damn, this freaking dude has been right here trying this whole time, which is like all I've, asked for on the show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I gave it a shot and we've been good.
So
That
what-
is a
okay.
success story.
We started hanging out like as soon as I got back. I was like,
So it's
I'm
hard. It's
single as
hard
shit.
for me not to just dig a little deeper. I keep talking about digging deep, but no, because I know
I
you don't
wish you
want to
would
talk
stop.
about it. I know you don't want to talk about it too much, but can you at least tell us how the first date went? Because it seems like the relationship's working.
We didn't even have like a proper first date. I literally told him, he was trying to wear me down. I was like, okay, finally. I was like, I'm in a good mood today. If you want to come watch me, like do stuff at my house. Like I have stuff to do. I have errands to do. I have stuff to do at my house. If you want to come like hang out with me while I do that. And that was like the first time we hung out, just us.
Okay,
At
so
your
he helped
place, so
you
that's nice.
vacuum.
Yeah,
the
well, yeah, he
house.
thought I was kidding. I'm like, no, really, I have shit to do. And then the next day I was like, hey, I need help carrying a rug into my house. And so he helped me do that.
You put him to use. Yes.
Hey, whatever works. I actually think that's sweet. I like it.
But
I'm
he
into
stuck
it.
around. He's a lot nicer and sweeter than me. So God love
Okay.
him.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
And after Paradise, I think you need some nice mans doing some nice things for you.
I'm not used to it. It freaks me out. I'm like, oh, you're doing this because you really want to? Okay. This is
what's
great.
going on? What's going on in Natasha Parker land?
Oh, well, we're not going there, but I will say, like you said, Tia, really cute because that relates to our clickbait, and I love when we can do that.
Yes.
Likability and the how likable we are to people, and we don't know that and all that. So we're gonna get into that in the clickbait. I'm excited.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
then let's move on to the next Bachelor Nation breakdown. Katie Thurston shut down breakup rumors with fiance Blake Moynes. So
that
I
kind
think
of goes back to like the public being in a relationship in the public eye. People notice everything.
Yeah, or when they stop noticing things, they're like, "What's going on?" So I guess Blake's in Africa, and Katie's in the United States, so they are not together. So people are like
together.
Yeah, physically together. So people are assuming they could potentially be broken up, but I think Blake's just doing I think he used to work in animals safari life, right?
And he still does.
Yeah. So he's out there. He's in Africa working, and and I know actually this could relate back to the first one with Sarah and Wells, and I know they both have different jobs and they're apart at times for 3-4 months, and that's what happens in relationships. Sometimes you are away from each other, but doesn't mean you broke up, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think Katie and Blake are still going strong. Any thoughts?
Well, I think speaking of the public relationship and things like that, Joe, you and Serena are just coming off of the show, and I know that you had one before as well. Do you
big
guys...
public relationship guy? Big on. Yeah.
But do you think that it's she responded by saying, shutting down the rumors. Do you think it's important to do that, or is it important to just let people talk and they know it's fine? What do you think is kind of the better way that you want to handle that?
Yeah. So I'm actually really happy you asked me that. And we're all different, and we all,
totally,
think differently. But I am somebody that I would never respond to that. I stay away from. I try to stay away from the comment section and the Reddits and all that. My relationship's good. It's healthy. I'm not going to even though, it's great. We have a lot of people that follow us and they'd love to see our relationship. And, I'm happy for that. But I stay away from all the negativity.
But what about if you have a big moment or a big change or even a breakup? I've dealt with a breakup, after I was on the show. Do you feel obligated to address it? Because people do kind of figure it out. If you haven't been with that person in a few months and you unfollow each other or whatever, do you feel obligated to respond or say stuff about that?
I think if you met, because of the world that we're in, this Bachelor world, and we met on the show and a lot of people follow us for that, I would say yes. Now, in your case, Tia, you're in a relationship with somebody outside of the show, then I would never feel obligated.
Right. That's why I waited too, because it's scary to bring someone that's not used to all that into it.
Yeah.
When they didn't ask to be a part of it. Yeah.
Right. And what was the reasoning? I can't remember exactly what your caption was, but it was something finally I'm ready to tell people this.
It was it was nice just to have something to myself. Well, no, I mean, Demois did post about it, which I thought was freaking interesting that they even care. No, I feel like for his sake and for his sanity, he had to watch me on Paradise. We were together while it was airing. And he was like, I'm so excited to tell people that I'm with you and I want to show you off and all this. And I was like, okay, it's time.
He wants to have a normal, I post my girlfriend on my Instagram. Right. Yeah. And not, okay.
I just haven't posted a guy in 2 years on my page. Someone that I'm actually seriously dating. So it was just it was kind of nice to just have it just to ourselves for a little while. I feel like nothing's sacred anymore. So,
And I know, I've posted a photo of Serena after we were engaged and people are like, where's the ring? But maybe it was she wasn't wearing the ring. I'm not going to get in there and be like, listen, trust me, we're still engaged.
Yeah.
she posted a photo of her and Michelle for Michelle's premiere. And I put in the comments more Joe. I want to see more Joe. And then I deleted it because I'm people are just gonna think I'm just too into myself. It was a joke. It was a joke.
I told Serena, I thought her, she got her damn hands full.
All right. Well, okay. Enough with this. All right. Let's go on to Bachelor Nation breakdown. Our last one. I'm sure you guys all watched it. The new season of The Bachelorette premiered this week. Michelle, she looked great. I thought there was some funny entrances. Some, big on. I like Nate a lot. I thought he was great.
Oh, love him.
What did you guys think?
Well, I want to know what your favorite entrances were. Because y'all know I have mine.
Yeah, my favorite is anyone that was just normal. I really liked Rodney. I liked the Apple guy, even though that wasn't that normal.
Apple
I liked.
Of mine eye. Yeah.
I liked him
eye.
because he just, there's some people you're like, okay, this guy's got a great personality. Like he's gonna be awesome on TV, and he seems fun. So I liked Rodney. He was probably my favorite.
I feel like the guys look so much better on the show than they did in their headshots. They did not do them any favors.
I think that's every season.
I feel like this one was exceptionally bad. I was like, they really did this to Michelle.
Wow,
but then
okay.
these dudes are massive too. Nate is huge. Clayton is huge.
Yeah, they're all big. I mean, Nate's 6'8". The guy I know, the one guy that went home, Brian, he used to play in the NFL. I think he's like over 6'6", and he's big.
Yeah.
Like there's some big boys, but Michelle's tall.
Yeah, she's tall. Yeah, I loved my favorite was Sound Bowl Bay. I don't remember what his name was, but he came out with a sound bowl, and I was like, ooh.
Which one?
Oh, I didn't see that.
He came out. He had a sound bowl, and he like played the sound bowl for her. It was like montagey, like when they kind of like show a bunch of them, but it was like a little montage thing, and me, I'm a sucker for that. I love that. And I also thought that I personally, the people who kind of like do just like, hey, how you doing? Like Joe, like you said, you like that. I like when people do things because it's like you're like, even the guy in the plate, Rick
with his head. So if you haven't seen it, there's a guy on the season. His name's Rick, and he showed up with his head on a platter, basically. Yeah, like he was rooms, like when you get room service, it's delivered to your room, and they lift up the lid, and it's like a cheeseburger, but instead it was Rick.
That was creepy. I'm sorry.
You thought that was creepy?
Yeah.
I thought he was extremely creepy looking, and I thought the whole thing was creepy. But as the show progressed, I was kind of like, okay, I usually don't like that shit. But I was like, this is actually pretty funny.
Their conversation was good, though.
Their conversation was so good, and I don't like that stuff either. But for some reason, he was just so normal in that situation. Like, I don't know. And I think what's also so crazy is that we look at this show and we see the serious part of it. It's so serious. It's so serious. It's so serious. And this was so not serious, I guess. It was like supposed to be funny. And then when he talked about, you can always laugh that I was in this thing, I was like, you know what? That was good.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I was like, you know what? You were the first one that I've seen that came out and something like that was so ridiculous. And by the end of it, I'm cheering for you. I'm like, yeah, I like this guy, and I'm going to remember him.
Yeah, and when he came out, I was just like, ooh, please don't be like wearing something crazy too. Like, don't be wearing like a polka dot pink, jacket. Like, please be looking like good and like great. And he did, so that was good.
Yeah, I liked him better outside of the table.
Same. Who was your favorite entrance, Tia?
Let's see. There was the guy that's the nonprofit speaker. I really liked him. It wasn't really much of an entrance, but he was good. Oh, Joe Coleman. The one she had been in his DMs. That was interesting.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second.
The fact that Michelle has the balls to just like say it too, like she called herself out. That I like that.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Mm-hmm. So if you're in Michelle's spot and you DM some guy And I think they had like only like a few DMs back and forth, and then he just stopped. He just didn't respond.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a deal breaker for you?
Meaning,
like,
if
would
you
you
were
have sent him? Like, would you have sent him home?
I mean, she said he was fine. Like she thinks that he's, you know, like I think that she's attracted to him,
Yeah.
right? And if this were to work out, like he said, the proximity thing isn't. It wouldn't. I think it wouldn't have been enough to send home on the first day, like she did, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't feel good about him.
It depends on how serious the conversation was, I guess. If it was just casual, that's one thing. But I feel like in their conversation later, he had, you know, this reasoning for it because of George Floyd and all the protests and all of this. And she kind of acted like, well, I didn't really have high expectations. We were just trying to figure out like basic facts about each other. We didn't have to get serious. So I don't know.
I think she should have let it slide. If they would have met in person and then he ghosted her,
right,
that's different. But because it was only on social media, I don't even think numbers were exchanged. I don't know. I think you give him another chance. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
And see, you know, on my season, Kelly and Peter had met before, and everyone felt like that kind of like gave her a leg up, right? But I'm watching this and I'm like, this kind of is giving him like it's kind of like he's kind of a few steps behind everyone because he ghosted her. So I feel like he's probably going to have to really put his best foot forward and really go hard like every single time because he has to prove to her that like I won't do that again,
like,
right?
Just disappear, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why in their conversation when she said that, you know, oh, how do I know that you're just not going to break down again or shut down again? Avoidant behavior. I'm not going to lie.
See, I disagree with you. I think that gives him a little bit of an edge, to be honest.
I don't.
Because he's the only guy right now. Like every guy, Michelle could get every guy on the show.
Mm-hmm.
The only guy that's kind of like, I don't know, is Joe.
Wait, you think he's saying that?
I'm saying in Michelle's head, like the only one that's a little, I guess, playing a little hard to get.
I don't.
You don't think that
so.
matters?
I don't think so. No, because listen,
I disagree.
Even Nate said in his like something about if we're each other's person, like he let it be known, like. I liked what he said because it was like, it wasn't, oh, I'm just here from you. I'm here from you. Like everyone normally says. He was like, we're here to see if we're each other's person. Like, I got to see if you're my person too. And I really respect that. And I really like that. So, cause it goes both ways where sometimes people get caught in the motion of like, I just want to marry you. And it's like, wait, you don't even know me. Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting. I liked the first episode. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like these guys. They seem interesting. They seem like she seems like she has a good group of guys.
Well, we have a little bit of a treat for everybody because room service is here, and we actually have Rick showing up real quick. We're gonna ask him a few questions. So, all right, Rick,
his background.
Rick, welcome.
Yeah,
Rick shows up to the podcast with another great entrance. His background, I don't know if he's got a green screen. We don't really know what he's doing, but okay. Rick, everybody watched you this week. I was like, I don't know about this guy. He's got, he shows up with his head in a platter, but it ended up, I thought it was very entertaining and funny, and I think you really pulled it off.
You really pulled it off.
And you totally redeemed yourself too.
Yeah, you did. You like it all ended up being great because we all expected to be like, this guy's going to be annoying, but you weren't. So what made you decide to do this?
Yeah, so I was thinking to myself, maybe I'm sick of me too after it all, but no. I think like my goals were I want to make a first impression. I'm someone that is very like lighthearted. I like to enjoy life even during the serious moments, and I like to make people laugh. And I know that you're not guaranteed one time, and I wasn't guaranteed one time with Michelle. But I thought like a big concern of mine was going home that first night if I don't make an impression. And everyone that's there sacrificed a lot to be there. And so I didn't want to go home that first night. And so my biggest thing is I wanted to do something different. I want to make an impression. I want to make her laugh. I also wanted to show her that I was dedicated. But I think like the first thing is just making sure that she knows I like to just take things easy, and I don't mind making a fool of myself. I'll make mine like joking around. Um, Behind the table itself, I love food. I know she's kind of a foodie herself. I also, in my past, I think in high school and then also in college, I worked in a restaurant for a long period of time. So I thought it was like a good way to kind of introduce a few details about me that probably a lot of people wouldn't expect. You know, I said like perfectly aged, almost like wine at 32. And I said, coming from like Los Angeles, California, like sometimes you talk about certain types of meat coming from different areas of the country or, you know, wherever, that kind of thing. And then, you know, I do tend to think of myself as like a good, sweet person, but I also can have a little spice here and there. I like to spice things up and joke. And there's different things that I think a lot of people wouldn't expect from me and also just my life. And so I want to introduce those ideas to her by doing that.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to stop you right here because you're giving me a lot of information right now. Okay.
I know.
No, you're good.
Great.
You're good.
That's
you're
great.
good. Yeah, no, that's.
And she received it well.
Yeah, so that's what I want to ask because I know like my first limo entrance, I was a night one guy, and I remember right after I talked to Becca, I was like that went awful. Like there's no way I'm going to be able to recover. Were you happy with Michelle's reaction?
Yeah, I mean like. The first thing I was happy about was that she didn't slam the thing on my head again. Because like I knew what I wanted to do is like yell Michelle, scare her a little bit, like as a joke. Yeah. But I didn't think of the repercussions until I was about probably 2 seconds before she lifted the lid. And so I was
Does
really
someone
happy
have to roll you in?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of assistance. So I appreciate everyone that helped me get up there.
Wait,
and get around.
Can I ask that question really quick? Were you on your knees? Were you sitting?
Yeah. What's your position?
Cross-legged. Like, how were you sitting?
There wasn't enough room for me to sit on my knees. Like the amount of space in between the table and the wood I was sitting on, there wasn't enough room for me to like be on my knees. And I actually barely I had it pressing against my neck, and so I was sitting Indian style like for a very very long time, and I wasn't expecting that, but. In retrospect, it was worth it. Looking back, it was definitely worth it. I achieved the goal. But
did you get to drink?
So that was the thing. My hands obviously weren't free, and I could only take so many images of my head of the camera showing these guys basically feeding me drinks or like having me sip out of the cup. So I was like, in my head, it just kept replaying. Yeah. So like there was a couple times that night I was like sipping on the straw and trying to lean up, but it wasn't easy. So I didn't have much to drink that night, and I wish I had more, honestly.
Okay, so overall, Rick, are you content? Are you happy with how your night one ended up?
Yeah, 100%. My biggest thing is I wanted to make sure I got one time, and I felt like if I had one time, I'd be able to express myself a little bit. Because aside from the joking and like just trying to be humorous and things like that, I do have a serious side to me, and I do care about people. And I wanted to show her there and talk to her about like I want to be there for her, and I want to show her that I like to think that I'm more about action than just words, and I think that's not the case for a lot of people that show up on these things.
Oh,
like that.
Okay. I hear the shade, honey.
Little shade. All right. Well, Rick, we are looking forward to watching you the rest of the season. You stuck out to all of us.
We're so glad you got a rose.
So thank you. Thanks for popping on, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more of you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thanks, Rick.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm so glad he got a rose. Like I said, if he would have went home after doing all of that, I would have been like, I was on my knees for you, girl.
Okay, but do you think he would have got a rose if he just would have walked out as himself?
Yes, I think so,
too.
because their conversation was actually very good, and he probably would have told some jokes or something to make her laugh, and I think so. Yeah, I mean, when he got out of there, he seemed very great. So yeah.
Yeah, there's always one person that's like, if you're stressed, come talk to me. That I appreciate that.
Yeah, is he your type, Natasha?
Is he my type?
Yeah, I'm asking you if he's your type physically.
Do I think he's attractive?
Look at you're
Yes.
blushing. It is.
No.
I knew it. I knew
No,
he
no,
was
no.
your type.
Do I think he's attractive?
Yeah.
Yes.
You like him. You like Rick.
I don't.
You can
I
say
don't.
it right now on the
no,
podcast.
no. I do not have a type. I've said that 1,000 times. You can put every guy that I've ever loved in a lineup. They all look very different.
Same.
I
Okay.
do not have a physical type. I do not. But
Okay.
some people are attractive. That's it.
Hot and dateable are two
Well,
different things.
I think Rick made a great first impression. Good for him. I'm glad he hopped on. Let's Natasha, should we? Clickbait of the week? Your
Oh
clickbait?
yeah.
Let's do
Look,
it.
let's talk about it. Likeable. So, our clickbait of the week this week is fantastic because we're talking about why you make a better first impression than you may think. And I really liked this clickbait because I think it's true for a lot of people. And it's so funny. One of my besties in Bachelor Nation, you guys know, is Victoria Fuller. And we always talk about this all the time, how like people think, like we'll talk to guys or whatever. And they're like, oh, I know your DMs are going crazy and this, that, and whatever. And it's like, actually, people are nice. People are saying this, you're listening. But like, people aren't just hitting on us everywhere we go, right? And so women, I don't
Speak
think...
for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Shit.
Here we go, y'all.
I'm joking.
Here we go. Here we go.
joking.
I don't know
I'm
how
joking.
Serena deal with you. I don't.
I'm joking. I mean, you.
She's
teed
about
me
to
up
pop out
for
from
it.
around the corner and be like, dude, what the fuck?
She said it right here. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Keep going.
No,
though.
so I think that it's just I haven't met many people who just walk around and say, every man wants me, every girl wants me, unless you're Joe. You know, I just don't meet many people like that, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that when we're so hard on ourselves as like humans, right? It's just like a thing that we do. And especially with Instagram and, you know, all the social media, you can get 100 amazing messages and you can get that one message that's like not nice, and then we focus on that. And we're kind of trained to focus on what we could have did better and how can we improve and all these different things. So I think that reading this article and hearing how majority of people think that, oh, this person doesn't like me. I'm like, I think to myself, I talk to my girlfriends, I talk to everybody, and it's like, we don't think that. But then you'll hear from this person, oh, that person really thinks you're awesome. That person really, and you're like, well, why didn't I feel that when he was talking to me? Why didn't I know that?
And it's like
Yeah.
you don't really hear it directly from someone. Like if I have a conversation with someone I think they're so amazing, I'm probably not going to tell that person directly. And maybe they did need to hear that to know
Right.
it was a good conversation. It's not like you go back and really express that. So like you feel your own insecurities after a conversation because nobody's telling you, oh, I really thought you were great.
Right. So that is my question to you guys. When you like someone, be it a girlfriend, a guy friend, doesn't matter, or be it a person that you're dating or not, are you the person who is letting them know I like you, or are you waiting for them to let you know they like you? Joe, you go first.
So when I like somebody, I can't really I think it comes across. I can't really hide it. I'm pretty transparent. So like I think Serena knew right away in Paradise, like I think this guy, I'm pretty sure this guy likes me.
Okay, wait.
Is that what you're, I mean,
not Paradise though, because that is the whole purpose of Paradise. So let's not.
okay, so
Go to
you're
Paradise.
asking more or less like in real life, would I play more hard to get?
Yeah, like do you wait for the girl to be like, I like you, or you know, kind of make a move on you? Or
I don't wait, but I definitely need to see some kind of signs. Like you know, like for me, like if I'm talking to a girl or I take a girl on a date and she like touches my arm or something, I'm thinking, okay, that's
Gotcha.
for me, that's a sign. I'm like, maybe she might like me, and then
Yes.
I'll do something to kind of show that, but I'm not going to be over the top aggressive. I'm so into you right now. Like I would not do that. Like
As
no.
a man, do you
Totally.
feel like you need to be the one to verbalize it first? Is
No.
it like a gender role thing?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I've heard you say, Tia, that like a guy will give you the ick right
like
away.
pretty fast.
Yeah,
And
like,
then
and
I'm done.
Oh,
Yeah, and
right.
I think that comes from guys that will just be too upfront about their feelings too fast.
Yeah.
Right?
To where it seems kind of inauthentic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
So,
I
Tia,
know pretty
what about you?
quickly. It's just hard for me to verbalize it sometimes. It's like I'm waiting for someone to say it so I can be like, oh, okay, thank goodness. It reassures me. So then I can tell
I'm the
it.
exact same. Like, because I don't really have a type, I like a lot of people and I try to look at people as humans first. Like, do I like this person as a person? Regardless, like some people, it's like, they are just hot but they're a dick and I don't want to talk to them other than in a sexual way, right? But so I try to do that first. And so if I like someone as a person first, then I'm like, okay, well, that's good. But now my mind immediately goes, but they don't like me. Or they, I don't feel that with them. So that's why for me, it's so awful, but I friend zone everyone kind of first, if that makes sense. But
So you let your insecurities somewhat cripple you.
Well, sure, but I just never.
I do that too. I never
think when I meet a person, unless they're like not all over me, but very forward about how they feel. I never think that they like me. I never think that they like me ever.
I do that too. I'm the same way. I'm pretty similar with that.
Yeah, I never think that because all of the guys who I've been in serious relationships with, it was like I like you. I want to take you on a date. They're just very like, let's do
forward.
It. They're forward. They're like, I like you. You're great. You're awesome. When am I going to see you again? Like, and it's just, and not everyone is like that. And I get that. And so now I'm forced to kind of be in this, well, if a guy's not doing that, then they clearly don't like me. That's what I think all the time. So I'm trying to work on that. I really am. But also, who is the person who is just running around like, ugh, everyone? I don't know that many. Do you know girls like that, Joe, who are just like, ugh, every man loves me so much?
I mean, I believe they exist. I don't know them personally.
Well,
but I believe there's people out. Yeah.
Sure.
But sometimes and sometimes I don't know if that when people talk like that, like I don't know if that's genuine or that's just a way to cover up insecurities with fake confidence.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think someone that's really confident, I don't believe boasts or acts like that. Like I don't think that person acts like everybody loves me. That's more of like a show off, like cocky, but usually those people are the ones that are the most insecure.
Right. And I would agree with that. So my question is, after reading this article, has it made you, I was thinking back to certain situations like, oh, well, I mean, I guess I kind of messed that up. Like there's this one guy who I think is so cute and totally friend zoned him. 1000% friend zoned him. Had no idea that he even liked me a little bit. I talked to one of my guy friends about him and he was like, that guy totally liked you. Like I was there, like I saw it, like he totally liked you. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, he probably just didn't think you liked him. So now I'm going back in my brain thinking about all.
I did that with Taylor. I was like, why would you like me? What's wrong with you?
But is it because you guys were friends first?
Maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I literally had no clue. Did not even see the signs. But like something else, not related to relationships, but with likability and all that. Mm-hmm. I kind of panic when people come up. I know y'all experience this too. When people come up and like recognize me from the show. Mm-hmm. I have social anxiety anyway, but it makes me think like that one interaction may be the only interaction I'm ever going to have with this person. And I feel like I have to like make this good impression. And like I'll ask them their name and I'll just completely forget their name, forget everything they said, and then think about it for like an hour. I'm like, was I nice enough? Was I pleasant enough? Like I want to give out this good impression. And like just with any conversations like that, I overthink everything after. Yeah. So I'm like, what if I had like a mean look on my face and they're like, oh, Tia Booth is a bitch. We never want to talk to her or encounter her. Like I think about that in those conversations.
Yeah, but would that really bother you? If that happened, if people are like Tia Booth, I ran into Tia in she's a terrible person?
Yeah.
Would it?
That would
Okay.
bother you.
Yeah. At least for a little bit.
I will tell you, Tia, me and Joe, we just don't be caring. Because, no, really, we don't. Because it's like, I mean, you know you're a good person, right?
Yeah.
And like just being very transparent to our listeners and everyone, it's like everyone does not have a great day every day, right?
right.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I was on a phone call the other day and I like wanted to stop and talk to this person, but also I knew I had a short window of time to talk to the person who I was on the phone with, who's very busy, you know? So it was like, if it was just, you know, someone that I talk to all the time, okay, yeah, I'll call you back. Hey girl, what's up? But you don't always have time. Even with my dog, it's like every single person got a dog in New York City during quarantine because we were all so alone. And people want to stop and like let the dogs talk. And I'm like, come on, Nyla. No, we're not stopping. We're going,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's like people probably like are like, oh, that was rude or whatever. But you kind of have to like, you know yourself, you know that you're a good person, you know that you mean well, and like you just can't have the time for everything and everyone. And I think that people get that, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm never
Yeah.
rude to people.
Yeah.
It's just either you have time to chat or you don't.
Right.
And the thing is, I just think with life, like you're just never going to please everyone. And that I think is what our next guest attempted to do on this week's episode of The Bachelorette. He went home night one, but we got him here. So everyone, please welcome Ryan to the podcast.
I wonder what his likability gap is.
Ryan, what's up, man? welcome to Clickbait. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good.
Wonderful.
We're doing good.
Good.
Excited to talk to you. Okay, so
Let's get to it.
yeah, let's just get to it. So you, we all know how stressful night one could be. You get out of the limo. You have your talk with Michelle. It seems like I thought she was into you. How was that moment for you?
Oh, I mean, Joe, you did it. I mean, you're shaking like a leaf. I mean, you know, Tia, Natasha, I'm sure you guys similar. Like everyone, when you get off, you're just shaking. It's like, I don't even know how I got those words out. But
Yeah.
what I got is, you know, she was absolutely stunning. I was like, there's a lot of shiny stuff on this dress. And,
Yeah.
and, you know, I'm happy I didn't stutter too much. And I kind of blacked out, to be 100% honest. And then I said my little thing and I walked out. But I got a genuine, was like, oh, Michelle's like, she looks and feels and acts exactly how I imagined. So I was like, wow, that's nice.
Wait,
Yeah.
weren't you on the tractor in your little intro thing?
Yeah. And so
I've never seen a farmer without a shirt on like that.
Well, they also, I was like, so what do you guys want me to do? And then, you know, I don't know if we're supposed to, but like, he was just like, hey, we want you shirtless on the tractor. I'm like, no, I don't want to be shirtless on the tractor. We get sunburned if we're shirtless on the tractor. Like, that's why there's such thing as a farmer's tan. Like,
Yeah.
because you're not shirtless on a tractor.
Yeah.
But I mean, then my mom convinced me, it's like, Ryan, you just need to give the people what they want. And
True.
then we just listened to the research. So it was fine. It was
Okay, so we know like you said on the show that you didn't watch the show prior to going on it. Does your mom watch it? Was she someone that
No.
watches it? No. Okay.
I'm from the biggest agricultural producing county in the country of the United States. Like
You wanna
Okay,
bet?
where is that?
it's Fresno, California. I'm from a
Okay.
small town outside of it.
Got it.
We are probably closer to Kansas than we are to Hollywood. So no one really, I'm farthest away from, you know, this stuff. My mom, I don't think has ever seen The Bachelor until last night, actually. So
Okay.
I see.
Okay. All right. So let's get into it a little bit.
What made you want to bring the notes? And when did you get the notes? that you got?
I mean, so like, it's kind of like they made a really big thing out of something very, very minute. And so it's kind of like hilarious at this point. But, you know, as you can see, if you look behind me, I mean, I got a lot of notes. I mean, if you don't know, these are all about The Bachelor, by the way. Just an FYI.
Got it.
But
So you're caught up. So you're caught up at this point.
No. So I mean, basically, they gave me only.
No, I'm saying you're caught up to all the seasons, not you're caught up.
Oh no, I mean, caught up to the seasons. Oh no, yeah.
Never. It was a joke.
I know, good joke. Yeah, got you. Yes, that's what all those are about, exactly.
Okay.
So I mean, you guys know, I mean, they don't give us much time to get ready for this thing. I have a full-time job, and I work in like local jurisdiction over here doing hazmat, and then I have my own consulting company with a couple employees. So when they give you like a couple handfuls of days to like, hey, you gotta go, like I'm like moving like crazy.
Okay,
right?
so let me stop you right there. So how did you apply for the show?
And why did you want to go on it?
Yeah.
So I went, my friends nominated me for The Bachelor Live, like before COVID.
Oh, that's right.
And so it was with Becca and Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you know, still before this, I really hadn't known, but my friends like, oh, you're such a nice guy. You would be perfect for this. We want to nominate you. So they were all about it. They wanted to do their thing, and they're such proud parents. And I got selected. Like, oh, like the person I did got selected. So
For the live show.
Yeah, the live show.
Okay.
It's for like the Bay Area. It was like the Bay Area Bachelor guy, you know, whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Like a 2 or 3 hour like entertainment show. It's like The Bachelor squeezed down. It's like so fast, I don't really remember, but you know, Becca and Ben were the hosts. Fantastic. Honestly, I was probably one of the last couple guys to go before COVID shut the whole shebang down.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did the show, and I didn't really have any like interaction with The Bachelor or watch it before that. I mean, I had Apple TV. I didn't even have the ABC app on my Apple TV. I mean,
okay.
And so, you know, I go there and I do that. The girl that I select doesn't work out. And I was like, I had a great experience. I got to meet all these Bachelor people. This was super fun. I'm going to go ahead and apply. I think this is super awesome. This is a great experience. Like, I'm going to try it. And then obviously COVID hits, right? Boom.
Right.
Like, we're all in COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where I left it. And then, you know, I got, I saw that Michelle was going on. I was like, hey, are you interested in being on Michelle's season? And I was like, Michelle is amazing, awesome. Probably, you know, no offense to anybody else. I don't want to offend anybody, but she seemed like the most genuine Bachelorette that I could imagine. And I was like, I'm in, you know, I don't have anything going on. This is a good time for me. Like, COVID's basically kind of weaning, like, let's do it. And that's where it was. So.
Okay.
So now back to the notes.
Okay. So you apply, you get on, and you like, and I understand this. I'm not like busting your balls or anything.
Oh,
you
good.
don't think to like do a little research on the show, watch a few episodes, anything like that. You're just like, I'm going to go in this deer in headlights.
I'm like, I have my business is on full blown. Like, it's the biggest biggest building season of the year ever. And so I have like zero time in the world to do anything. Working like 60 hours a week and the whole thing. So, I mean, what I did was they basically gave me that short amount of time to get ready. By the time I'm like getting my clothes and getting the things, like the only things that I asked, like, hey, you know, my friend's wife, my close friend, hey, can you give me like a summary of like the show? Like, can you give me a summary of like Michelle? Show me of like everything. So you just like put it in a little thing and give it to me, because I got too much going on. Like, I gotta buy clothes. I gotta do all this stuff.
You gotta get ready.
Yeah. And I'm like, I have like no time. And I have to close out all these projects at work. And so that's what I had. And then I also printed my journal. So I'm a big journaler. Mm-hmm. I think it's like a big thing about being like introspective. So one of the things they read is my like self-devotionals, I guess, like my pros and cons list of myself. Mm-hmm. And in that same list it has like a summary of every relationship. Like, after every relationship, I'll write like a narrative of like what good happened in that relationship and what bad happened in that relationship. And
so it sounds like you got a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah.
But like, that's what I brought into every relationship. So I printed it and I shoved it in this binder right before I left.
Yeah. But wait, so can you tell us when you got the notes from your friend's girlfriend to when you left? Like, you didn't have time to just read it And
Oh
then,
no, because I mean, I haven't. No. I mean, I didn't even have time to read it because we knew
so
they were
that's
going to
why
put
you
us
brought
in
it with you.
quarantine. Yeah, I brought it with me, and I brought my journal because it was grounding. So that's like, everyone has certain things that's like helpful for them to bring, and you're about to be gone for 2 months, and they basically say you're about to go through emotional roller coaster. So
did you reach back out to your friend afterwards after you got eliminated and said, like, you watched the show, you think you would have told me not to bring the notes?
I think everyone's like, why would you bring notes? I'm like, well, when you imagine they're going to go, it's like, I mean, there's nothing bad in the notes. That's why I'm like, I quickly, when Michelle went up to the room, like, go ahead, go to town. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you. So do you after watching it and seeing the feedback and everything, do you understand why someone would think that it's weird that you brought notes? Do you understand why?
I think people, I mean, I don't watch much of the show, but I think there's so much like people trying to like game the system. And I guess, I'm just like I'm from like the opposite thing of this. And this is not anything that I would want like this. Like,
But even outside of gaming the system, like you're, it's almost like, let's take the show out of it and like you go on a date with a girl, like you're literally just going on a date with a girl and you have these notes like, okay, don't stare at her boobs, don't do this, don't you know what I mean? Like it's like it's like you're just not being, it's like just go be yourself,
be
and
present,
see and see what happens type of thing. Like I think that was it's less, in my opinion, when I was watching it, it was less about, oh, this guy's trying to make it to the end and this and that. It was more like, why couldn't he just be himself and really see if he has an authentic connection with her? Like, what if you got there and you didn't even like her and you got all these notes for nothing?
But the thing is, I think that's what the misunderstanding is that it's literally my journal. Like what she's reading is my personal journal. Like there is the notes my friend gave me, and then she's reading my personal journal. Like it's a Google Doc. It's a printed Google Doc about like, hey, like this is some good things to do. This is some bad things to do. This is like relationship things that I like, over time and many years, like have basically created a journal about. I'm like, hey, this is some stuff to do, and it's not even about Michelle in any way. The notes about the show is something about the show is, but everything else is my journal.
So I think the jarring part, I think where people, what people got upset about is like you see Bachelor alums' names on there, like a Jason Tardik. So people are looking at it like, okay, you're trying to see how long you could last on this show, opposed to just being there and seeing if you could potentially fall in love with the Bachelorette, who is Michelle.
I know, but that's all in the same document my friend wrote to me. Like she's the one saying, you should look at these guys. Like I have it right here. Like it's right here.
Yeah.
Also, like, how did you, if you hadn't seen any episodes, how did you even know anything about Michelle and how great she was and all this?
Well, I watched her on Instagram. They had their opening statement, and then I started to research more when they said, "Are you interested?" And then I researched more Michelle back.
Okay,
I see.
Yeah. So your friend, what your friend should have done was write, here are all these notes. Don't bring them.
Yeah. Be yourself.
That's it. Okay. So if you could go back and change the way it went, if you had the chance right now to just not bring the notes, would you, or are you comfortable with the way it is? And which is fine.
Oh, I mean, I'm 100%. I mean, I'm a type A personality. I write notes. I journal. That's just kind of who I am. Like I'm an introspective person. That's kind of how I exist. It's how I've made it to the place in life I am. Like, so you're saying that I'm not going to note. I'm not going to have my to-do list. I'm not going to have those things. Like that's 100% me, and I'm 100% behind that. Like if somebody is like, oh, he's too thoughtful about certain things, it is what it is. But nothing was done with malice, and I'm not trying to be the evil king of the universe and planning a master scheme to take over the world. It's probably the opposite. So
we definitely don't think that. I just think that so what you're saying is you would not change anything that happened.
I mean, of course you wouldn't want someone to go through your personal belongings and to like find that, but like to say that I didn't want to bring my journal, or to say I didn't want, help understanding The Bachelor. Yeah, I definitely would love, like, I needed that. You would hate to spend 2 months of your life going on a show like completely blind, right?
But but here's the thing. You would have gotten a rose. You would have received, I believe, you would have received the rose from Michelle had she not have seen the notes. So if you didn't get the notes, you would still have a chance with her.
Yes, and I mean that's obviously that's ideally what I wanted, but it's so far in the past. Like, obviously, if they wouldn't have gotten the notes, I maybe, like you said, I would have gotten the rose. I mean, we're never gonna know, but like, obviously that's what I would have wanted. That's unspoken.
Have you reached out to Michelle at all, or have you spoke to her since any of this? Just curious.
I mean, no, I would believe that would be inappropriate to do, honestly. I mean, she has enough going on. She has enough going on. Like, that's the last thing I would hate for her to do. I mean, what Michelle has to go through that first night, let alone the whole season, is she's amazing for doing so. Anybody who has to do that, I totally feel for them, and I completely support her. And I think Michelle is absolutely amazing, stunning, beautiful person. And that has honestly only grew when I had my small interaction with her, the 10 minutes of time that I got. And everyone resounded the same sentiments. Like, she is even more amazing than I thought. And honestly, you think you're going to go on this thing and like, oh, this person can be fake. She was genuine and she was real, beautiful person. I told her about, me coaching and having a brother with Down syndrome and coaching the sports that I do. She lit up like a Christmas tree. I really found that connection with her. I have nothing but amazing words to say, and I really truly hope she finds love. And I think with those amazing, guys that are left on there, those 29 other guys, like, I think she will. And there's a great group of guys. Like, honestly, the other great thing that Bachelor did is a great job. There's a fantastic group of guys, all really amazing, like down to earth, good guys. So, I mean, I have only good words to say about them. So
cool. Okay. I got to ask you before we let you go, would you, if they asked you, would you do Bachelor in Paradise? And do you know what Bachelor in Paradise is?
I know you guys were on Bachelor in Paradise. That's what they told me. And I have not seen Bachelor in Paradise before. I think they did tell me that it's a long ways away. So if I had my heart of hearts, I would probably be engaged by then, to be perfectly honest, and in an amazing, committed relationship. I'm hoping that's what I truly want. I'm 30 years old. I'm ready to settle down. That's really what I want. Well, I mean,
yeah.
And that's really my number one priority. And I'm not going to force that, but that's what I want. And if I'm single at that time, I don't even know when this paradise occurs. That could be something that I can think about. But the last thing to think about is a show that's going to be like, 6 months to a year down the road. Like, I'm not going to stall my life.
Okay. So let me rephrase it. If you are single when Bachelor in Paradise comes around and they ask you, would you go?
I don't know. I mean,
that's fine. You could not know. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
And if you did say yes, would you bring notes?
I might bring notes. I honestly, if I go,
I think you should stick with the notes at this point.
I'm gonna bring notes, and I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna you gotta go with it at this point. But if Bachelor in Paradise was happening, I mean, we would have to think about it at that point. But
cool.
I don't have any bad sentiment towards The Bachelor.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on and being honest with us.
No, thanks, guys.
Have a nice one.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, so yeah, I don't know. I'm a little confused by Ryan, but yeah, he
no regrets.
Listen,
no regrets.
No regrets. And great, that was his night one. And I wish him the best at this point, right?
Sure.
He said so thoughtful. This man said no one's ever said you're being too thoughtful. I was like, oh, okay.
He lost me in the intro, digging a hole with his shirt tucked in his pants. You really lost me.
Yeah. I'm going to say that I think that he wants to find love, and him writing his notes
he's going to be engaged before Paradise, Natasha. Wow.
Listen, he might do it. All I can say is for people listening, if you do want to get on the show and you ever apply, don't bring notes. If you do want to apply to be on the show, you could go to bachelornation.com/casting and do it right now. You never know. You could journal.
You can journal.
You could journal. Like journaling's fine, but then like printed out notes, it's just probably not going to work in your favor, but who knows?
At least don't have them out on your desk.
I journaled every single day that I was on The Bachelor, in a lot of paradise, not all of it, but a lot of paradise. I journaled myself, for myself, to myself of what was going on in my feelings. So we love journaling and it is a really great outlet. But be yourself. Yeah. And this is from Tia to Joe to everybody else that we have on these podcasts, that are on these Bachelor podcasts. I think the reason why we can do this is because we were ourselves and we own our actions.
Yeah. Thank you again to all our listeners. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you to Ryan and Rick. You guys were a pleasure. And as always, make sure to subscribe and submit all your burning questions. Check us out on social and like, comment, DM us. You know where to find us at ClickbaitBN on Instagram, Bachelor Nation on Twitter, and Bachelor Nation on Facebook.
And share your stories with us. We want to know what clickbait you guys are getting into this week. Subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Wondery app, or wherever you guys are listening right now. Hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next week.
Later.